Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about a massive business failure, a 2 billion baht lesson to be exact. It's a story that reveals a huge blind spot in modern strategy, a real clash of business cultures that, honestly, offers a powerful lesson for anyone in a competitive world. So, let's get into it.
You know, when you really boil it all down, what is marketing? I mean, at its absolute core, if you have to define it in just one word, it's this: the customer. Everything, absolutely everything, is about understanding and capturing the customer.
So, you can do all the work, right? You get the MBA, you study the greats, you know the classic playbook inside and out. But what happens when you step onto the field and realize your competition isn't even playing the same sport? This is that story.
All right, so let's set the scene. Picture this. It's Thailand, right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. And for this one really old company, a 140-year-old institution, this crisis, well, it looked like a golden opportunity. So on one side, you've got this legacy company, Thailand Post, and on the other, you have all these new, aggressive delivery services just nipping at their heels. Then, bam, the government drops a nationwide lockdown, a strict nighttime curfew. Nobody's moving after 9 p.m. But there was this one little exception in the rules. An exception for emergency services, police, and, you guessed it, Thailand Post. They were literally the only delivery company in the whole country that could operate 24/7.
You can just imagine the chairman of Thailand Post, right? He's probably thinking, yes, we got him! His competition is completely sidelined by law. This wasn't just a small leg up, it was a government-mandated once-in-a-lifetime gift. He thought, this is it! This is our moment to win!
Okay, so your competition is tied up, legally hobbled. What do? Well, the logical move, the obvious move, is to go for the knockout punch. And in the logistics game, that punch has a name: price.
So he launches this huge campaign. They called it Smile to Fight 19. And they did something drastic. They took their main premium service, which was 35 baht, and just slashed it all the way down to 19 baht. Now think about that number, 19. It just feels so much cheaper than 20, doesn't it? It was a psychological move designed to be an offer you just couldn't refuse.
And look, this wasn't just a number they pulled out of a hat. No, they did their homework. They calculated their cost for every single package at just a little over 18 baht. So at 19, they're still in the black. It's a razor-thin profit, sure, but it is a profit. The thinking was flawless, right? We can sustain this, and our competitors, with their similar costs, there's just no way they can match it. It felt like checkmate. Or so he thought.
And for a moment, it worked like a charm. They were flooded with new business. It was absolutely brilliant. For about 3 days. And then the market did something that just broke all the rules of business school.
Okay, so just 3 days in, a competitor, J&T, matches their 19 baht price. Okay, surprising, but maybe they're willing to take a small loss for a bit. But then, a few days after that, J&T doesn't just match, they go lower, down to 15 baht. Now, we're deep into losing money territory. And then that next Sunday, another competitor makes a move that just completely flips the chessboard over.
So this other company, Best Express, comes out and says, you know what? We'll do it for 0. Free shipping. You can imagine the chairman at Thailand Post. He's just baffled. He assumed it had to be a gimmick, right? Like there's got to be hidden fees for the box or insurance or something, so he sends his own people to try it out. They come back completely stunned. Sir, we sent 20 packages. It's real. It was 100% genuinely free.
Seriously, how do you compete with free? The price war just spiraled into total chaos. And the cost of this incredible strategic miscalculation was about to hit the balance sheet. Hard.
That year, Thailand Post lost over 2 billion Thai baht. To put that in perspective for you, that's around $60 million US. A staggering, catastrophic loss, all coming from a war they started, a war they thought was a sure thing.
So you have to be asking, right? How is this even possible? How can a company ship something for free when it costs them 18 baht just to handle it? And the answer is, Thailand Post was playing chess, while its competitors were playing a completely different game with a totally different rulebook.
And this is really the heart of the whole story. On one hand, you've got the Western Kotler playbook. It's all about cost-plus pricing. You figure out your cost, you add your profit margin, and boom, that's your price. The goal is steady, profitable growth. But then you have this other way of thinking. Let's call it the Chinese tycoon playbook. And its logic is, well, something else entirely. It's called the Valley of Loss.
So what is the Valley of Loss? It's not about making a profit today. It's not even about competing. It's about annihilation. The strategy is to have pockets so deep that you can intentionally lose tons of money on every single sale for a long, long time, with the single goal of bankrupting everyone else in the market. It's a war of attrition. You burn cash to burn your rivals to the ground, so that when all the smoke clears, you're the only one left standing. You own everything.
And you know, the chairman himself said it best. He admitted, "I'm the one who pressed that 19-bot button. It was a clear failure." And why? He says it right here. We didn't see it because we didn't see the thinking of the Chinese tycoons. He had a blind spot, a huge one, because he was only looking at the world through the one rulebook he knew.
This isn't just some interesting business story from halfway around the world. This 2 billion bot lesson has a massive takeaway for anyone who has to compete, no matter what field you're in.
And here's the bottom line. Your biggest threat isn't the rival who plays your game maybe just a little bit better. No. Your biggest risk, your biggest vulnerability is the one who's playing a completely different game. The one whose rulebook you haven't even seen, let alone read.
So this whole story really just leaves us with one critical question we all need to ask ourselves. It forces us to look past our own logic, our own assumptions, and ask, what invisible rulebook are my competitors following?